Hello! Today we are braiding the vase edge. In the previous masterclass I've promised to show you how to weave a vase. We'll weave a vase itself next time. Today I'll tell you how I finish the vase like this. Since I trim the edge this way twice in the process of weaving a vase, let's start with the edge in a bit reverse order, after which we'll shoot the whole process of vase weaving with no breaks. At first, as usual, I'd like to tell you a few words about possible varieties of such an edge. First of all, the tubes of the base and the working tubes of contrast colors look like this. These are very contrast. There can also be similar tints of the same color. Here the tubes of the base are a bit lighter, while the working tubes are a little darker, which adds some tint of a color. White tubes on a white background. Well, there is one more option worth mentioning. To finish the talks about contrast colors, here we see one color and one more variant. Here I use two tubes at the base of the edge, and in all of these works there are double tubes too. Then I decided to try it with one tube. This edge looks different, and I personally find it more interesting. Well, it's almost the same, but a little bit different. By the way, this work has been woven with tubes of different tints of color too, the light base and the edge of a bit different color. What else concerned the options? Take a look, please. The plate itself has been woven with thin tubes as well as the edge. While here I felt like trying to work with a bit thicker tubes. So I've taken the tubes made from 10 centimeters, which is about 4 inches wide strips of paper, round a knitting needle 1.2. As you can see, the tubes are a bit too thick for this item. Well, at least I find it a bit coarse. As for this item, I think it is the way it should be. Here I've used the tubes made from a 7 centimeters wide 2 3/4 inch strip. The needle used is 1.2 as well. So let's trim the edge braid style. A few words on the number of tubes. After almost every masterclass you ask me how many tubes I've used for a certain item. Well, actually it's always hard for me to calculate, especially because the tubes of the base here are one kind, while as you can see here I've used the tubes of different tints of color. I mean, calculating is rather complicated here. But when I was weaving the white item, 200 of tubes were not enough, so I had to paint more. Based on this, I can conclude that I need about 250-300 tubes, something like this. I'm curious how many tubes you use for one item, in case you calculate. I know there are people who prefer calculating every step. Well, I do envy them a little, but I'm not like this. So, ladies, I will be very thankful for your comments below this video regarding the quantity of tubes you have spent. So, in order to show you the way I trim the edge, I've woven the base of our future vase. Now we are going to weave the very edge. As for the tubes, in this very case, regarding this very item, I'm using tubes of the base made from 10 cm wide paper strips, with the help of 1.2 millimeters thick knitting needle. As for working tubes, they have been made of 7 cm wide paper strips rolled around 1.2 millimeter thick knitting needle. So, regarding the final stage, how to finish the base in order to make a smooth transition. I don't want to repeat myself. I recommend you watching our previous video where I describe in every detail the way I separate the whole cloth from the last row lately. At first I finish the work. You can see it here. I haven't cut it off on purpose in order to show you. As for the last row, I'm going to view it together with the edge itself. I don't start in the same very point where I finished the row. Here I'd like to emphasize the braid by making it white on the natural colored background. That's why. So let's start. I'll tuck the tail in right now, otherwise it would be more difficult when the tubes get drier. So far, when they are well prepared and soft, I'm inserting the tail like this. Well, let's start. Lead the working tube after the second loop. Then lead it out before the loop. And back. Got it. Then I kind of wrap the tube of the base by leading a working tube behind it. Then lead the working tube through the next loop. And here. Lead it out once again. Here is a loop, or rather a gap, which is just screaming out for the tube to go through. And then again. Wrap the tube of the base this way. And here. This way I've got 3 fragments of our braid ready. Cut off the tail at a sharp angle. Lengthen the tube. Hold a bit with your fingers. Continue. The joint is invisible. Continue. Lead behind the next loop again. Here I've got a joint. That's why I'm trying to hold it to avoid breaking anything. And continue working like this. This way, here, like this. I can lengthen here. on the same point where I did last time. It's most convenient to lengthen in this point. Take a look, please. I cut off the tube at a sharp angle. Why convenient? Because here there is no sharp curve. It looks neat from both sides. By the way, it is the way the edge looks from the wrong side, rather neat. Wrap the tube, holding with your fingers. Even if the joint was a little visible, it gets covered. By the way, I've reached the point where the row was finished. This way. Take a look. And go on. The joint is invisible. The transition is almost invisible too. So, lead the tube out and lengthen the tube in the same point again. Let me remind you the way I unite the ends. I've cut a piece of toothpick, dropped some glue and connected the ends. Let's finish. Reach the point of finishing. Here are 2 loops left with no stitches inside. Follow the pattern. Well, the tube is too short, so the last lengthening. According to the pattern, I see there is a stitch missing here. Zip. Tuck in. From this side, that's all. The pattern is finished. The only thing left is fitting the tube in here. This way. Since here the pattern is finished, I have to tuck the working tube in so that to avoid leading it out from this side. I take a look at the pattern. Well, let's lead it here. Press it like this and cut off neatly. That's all. The support is finished. Then I'm going to weave such a bowl or vase on it.